Okay, so this video, you can see in the title, evil. I guess it's some YouTuber. Her name's Shallon Lester. Evil Week dating advice: how to cheat and not get caught. And see, videos like this, and more specifically, they come from women like this. See, this is a great like addition to my last video of how it's going on about. By the time women are talking like this and doing shit like this, especially on YouTube, you just don't. You really don't want to be with them. Like, these are girls who are great to get. You can hump them 2 or 3 times, and after that, like, you don't want to be with women like this, man. You just don't. If she's doing this out loud on YouTube, telling you how to cheat and get away with it, what? Be smart about it. What is that gonna say for any man who would even consider taking her serious? She's making videos on how to cheat and get away with it. You see what I'm saying? It's like what? Think. If there is a man with like that dude is really don't want to be there. It's probably just the best he can do, so he's just dealing with it. Like, this is sickness. So, and then I also went in on her actual channel page. So the about is, got a love, sex, or friendship question. You've come to the right place. I'm Sharon Lester, a 2-time published author, NYC magazine editor, and star of Howcast viral kissing videos. I spill the tea on celebs like Kylie Jenner, Kardashian, Beyonce, Shawn Mendes, Justin Bieber, Haley Baldwin, Rihanna, and more, breaking down the relationship scandal psychology to see what lessons we can learn and give you no-nonsense advice and real-world tips on everything from dating apps and players to family and friends. You see, every market has its group of people, and this group, the market that this screams to is pretty much for the women who will generally, on average speaking, from my experience, this speaks to women who will never be truly loving mothers or a truly loving spouse. From my experience go out and find any woman who was seriously, a loving mother with a family, and show me the ones who are like actively involved in knowing what Justin Bieber's doing. Seriously, go out and find 4 of them who are genuinely succeeding as women and give a fuck about Beyonce, or if they even know who Shawn Mendes is, or if they could pick him out of a lineup. show me. This is it, and this thing, Evil Week dating advice: how to cheat and not get caught. See, this is nothing but that saying, hurt people hurt people. And it kind of goes back to the last video on how they were talking about cheating, and everything. Whenever a woman talks about cheating, and you really get down to the core topic, see, women, that shit doesn't appeal to a woman who is genuinely fulfilled as a woman, for real. Like, it really doesn't appeal to them. I mean, there are anomalies here or there, but for the most part, that's not part of their makeup. Is to go out and the part of their natural, genuine makeup is not to go out and have a high notch count and all that. That notch count shit and trying to go out and have multiple partners, that comes from them being hurt that they didn't get the man they really wanted, or they probably got him for a second and then the dude, ran off with somebody else. So now she's hurt and she thinks she's gonna go out and become a man now and do all that shit that a man's doing. You see what I'm saying? And it's just that thing. Hurt people. And it's sad because the reality is, like I said before, men, we have a much longer period to fix things and still stay genuinely desirable. Whereas once a woman kind of goes down one path, she really can't turn back around and fix it. It's just done at that point. It's just for a lot, and in most cases, it's just done. So we're gonna start with this video. I don't know if I'm gonna cover this whole video now. I might break it up into 2 parts. We're gonna start. Here we go.
Welcome back, Shalloners. It's Evil Week. That's right. We're back talking about 7 deadly sins and what we can take from each one of them. Because sometimes being good gets a little boring. Isn't it more fun to be bad? Isn't it more fun to be the victor than the victim? I think so.
Yeah, see, notice that? Isn't it more fun to be the victor than the victim? Yeah, hurt people hurt people. That's essentially what it is. Hurt people hurt people. Hurt people hurt people. Why would you start that's the whole reason why that thought process would even come up. Would you want to be the victor than the victim? So you have this premeditated thought to go out there and hurt somebody like you were hurt, which it happens. Don't get me wrong, it happens on both sides, men and women. We fall into it. We get hurt and then we want to go out there and hurt somebody else because we were hurt.
And today we're going to talk about one of my favorite sins, greed. Not about money, not about possessions, but people. What do you do when you can't just settle for one man? You have to have many, many men. Today, I'm going to teach you how to cheat and get away with it. But first, just want to remind you that if you want to talk to me privately, one-on-one about anything evil or not so evil in your life, find me on my website, shallonlester.com, and also head to shallonlester.com to shop my new merch line. I've got some great hoodies, phone cases, vision boards, and crop tops that you guys are going to love. And be sure to follow me on Instagram at ShallonXO, where I let you guys vote on these topics for Evil Week and all of my other videos. And as you guys know, here on the channel, usually we're talking about positivity, being a bad bitch, how to help other people. But like I said, sometimes that gets a little boring. Sometimes we have to indulge in the darker side of life, right? Because I know you guys are tired of getting manipulated. I hear it all the time. You're tired of getting cheated on. So is the answer to become the thing you fear and hate the most, a cheater? It can be. I don't subscribe to that as an overall way to live your life, because here's the thing. I have cheated on a lot of people. I have. And cheating does something to you. It splits you into two different people. It does. Cognitive dissonance is a very powerful thing. Cognitive dissonance means the surroundings, like your circumstances, reality, does not align with what you not only think about yourself, your integrity and your values, but most importantly, what you want to be happening, right? And it's very, very hard to be with one person and then have a side dude. And for the purposes of this video, we're going to call them mistresses, because it's very offensive that there's no like male name, like misters. Like, what does that even mean? We're going to call side dudes mistresses, okay? Get on board. It's very difficult to be equally in love with both of them, right? There's going to be resentment on one side or the other, and that can be really torturous for your partner, as you guys have known from being cheated on. So let's say you don't want to be a cheater. Let's say you're starting to watch this video and you're like, I feel bad about myself. Okay, watch anyway, because this is going to help you identify a cheater in your own life. Sometimes to catch a killer, we got to become a hunter ourselves. You know what I mean? We got to like put on the cloak of evil and go inside as a mole and a spy to smoke out people and understand. Because good people don't catch bad people.
See, there is so much just off with this that you can't even count it all. Okay. Again, to females, stop associating sex with some feat that was accomplished, okay? You just being woman. You don't have to put on the 10 pounds of makeup or push your boobs up and on. Just for the fact that you are a woman and you just stand up and you just exist there as woman, somebody is going to want to come give you dick, okay? And I was thinking about this earlier. It's the same thing as, let's say, like a fresh, like a big plump juicy red apple in a grocery store, right? That was that apple's biological destiny, you know, in itself. Like, it didn't have to do anything. That's just how it grew. You see, the fact that you are a woman, you are essentially that fresh apple. So motherfuckers wanting to come take a bite out of you, that's not a fucking feat. All right? See, like I tell guys before, man, women's issues are not finding men. That's not a woman's issue. A woman's issue is finding the man, that specific man that she wants, and try to keep him to stay around. That is where all the problem in women's brains start, because a woman's brain essentially is built to destroy itself and everybody around it. Okay, because it's the sheer logic. Women are going to want it's just the logic. Women, if you leave the ultimate option up to women, every woman would date Brad Pitt in his prime, fucking Idris Elba. They would all date the number one. They if you gave them the full option, where and the thing is, mentally they never really come off of that shit. Like they always really want that, and they never most will never ever truly come down off of that. So that's why when they get a Joe Average or something, like they feel like they're settling, and then they'll fuck it up and find a reason to get out of it, and they never grow out. So since you got look at any dating app stat, when you have 90% of women, 80% of women going after the top 20% of guys, well, of course they're gonna cheat on you because it's your women. I was talking to a female friend of mine yesterday. How it's the opposite of what we both find attractive. Women find men who have popularity and for whatever reason more attractive. Popularity or ability to protect, more attractive. Every now and then you get a mixture of mysterious or dangerous, something like that. But at the core, when they're done playing around and fucking around, they want a protector / popularity. Protector in whatever form and popularity in whatever form. Maybe he's just really good at soccer, football or whatever. And everybody knows him for that. That can make him attractive. See, it's that being seen, heard, and known is what's going to make that man attractive. You see, whereas it's opposite for men. See, for men, the real diamond is that girl who's always at home. She never really goes out, but she's cute and she's quiet. And we don't care how much money she makes. We prefer them not to be, out in the streets, out in the clubs for actual marriage material type shit. That's what you want that's what you want to have children with for real. Don't get me wrong. You got some sexy girls out there you want to have sex with and dump a baby in. But when you want a mother of your children, men do not want loudmouth bitches who talking about how you cheat on men and how to get away with it. No, girls like this, she's been sniffed out from 15 miles away, and that's why she's stuck in that same boat, or she's spreading, or she found some chump that was just desperate enough to put up with her because she's still skinny and looks like she's taking a bath, and she spread that nonsense to other women. This is sick. This is sad.
Kind of bad people catch bad people, and sometimes that's who we gotta be. So let's look at the giveaways for cheating, right? You have a shift. It's not only a shift in schedule, it's a shift in behaviors, patterns, and most importantly, attitude. When I look back on people who've cheated on me, because it happens in both directions. It's not only I was the villain, it's not only I was the victim. I've been on both sides. When I look back, it's the hurtful thing about cheating is not even that they stuck their dick in someone else. It's my ex-husband said this to me, I didn't cheat on him, we didn't cheat on each other, but we were just talking about it. And he's the bad thing about cheating is that it means you have been making decisions based on a reality that didn't actually exist. And isn't that the truth? Because you look back after being cheated on, you're what a fool. You feel humiliated. And even though that's probably not your partner's intent, sometimes it is though. Sometimes it is. That is the natural consequence. Because, right, sometimes people are just not great at monogamy. They're weak. They're horny. They need a shit ton of attention. They have a flaccid ego. They have poor coping mechanisms for being alone, being bored, being stressed, whatever. And sometimes people cheat to get your attention. So if people fall into the first category, poor coping skills, all that can be changed. It can. You can work on that,
Okay, just before she keeps rattling on, but I'm going to tell you what's always worked for me in that whenever I got with a woman, and the whole cheating thing is this. Like I say before, they're working on shit in this fucking bill, so you might hear some knocks. They're doing maintenance and shit here. But what I've always found that worked for me is to never ever pay attention to cheating at all. Because see, you got to remember this, man. The core of it is women only care about what they think you care about. Okay? Once she sees that you don't care about it, it's not a big deal. Like, she's always following. See, she's talking from a woman's perspective, and this is what women do. And they don't know what the fuck they're talking about when they're talking about, issues with men. The more you care about anything is the more she's going to care about it. So if you care about, like, there was an episode of Married with Children where a doctor, I don't know why this came up in my head now, but a doctor was splitting up with his wife, and he was on the phone with the attorney, and the attorney said, she took the baseball cards, and he said, well, why she take the baseball cards? She doesn't even like baseball. And he goes, oh, I understand. She took the baseball cards because she knows I like them. That's why she took them. See, remember this, women are always following your lead. Always. They're always following your lead until you start to worship them or put them on a pedestal or make them this thing that, they're your one and only and all that shit like that. They are always following your lead. So if you care, if your thing is you don't want anybody to touch your television center, she knows when to make you mad or to get your, like she said, get your attention. She's gonna fuck with the entertainment center. Just like that. They're like children. It's what children do. You got to remember this, man. She's following your. If the guy didn't care about cheating and completely blew it off, whatever, that whole, what's the proper word? Taboo. What's that whole? The excitement from cheating I guarantee it would die off if she got with a guy who was clearly like just nonchalant, didn't care about it. But it was clear he wouldn't do it, but he didn't care he just didn't care what she did. I promise you, the urges of cheating and within that woman will fade, because there's not. It just wouldn't be exciting, especially if she genuinely has some respect for you and is dating you. There would be no more reason for her to cheat. There would be no reason to do it because you don't care. Like I say before, man, women do not. When it comes to women, only put value in sex because men put value in sex. Women will fuck a dog. They'll fuck a horse. They don't give a fuck. Sex to a woman is nothing more than cleaning a coffee filter. All right? It is nothing, as long as she's, relatively sane. Now, once you get to like the more mental and unstable ones, now it's like they need it for the validation. They need it to stay feeling like they're worth something to you, and they need it for all that stuff and all that. Once you get to like the more damaged side of it, that becomes, an issue with sex. But as long as she's perfectly sane, normal, what the fuck, she don't care what she rubs up against. She really doesn't. It doesn't mean anything. It's nothing more. Women can get more enjoyment from a back massage in sex. It's not about the enjoyment. It's more about the validation, right? And it gets worse the more damaged they are. But they don't care. They just don't care, man. It's not it. Like I said, they put value in sex because men put value in sex, and then they start like it was everything else. Their lives are based off doing whatever they can to please men. They would literally cut their toe off and glue it to their left nostril if they thought that it would please men.
If you're cheating to like stick it to your partner, that's bad. You can do things that hurt me accidentally, but if you're doing things to hurt me purposely, there's no coming back from that. There's just not, and there shouldn't be. Deliberate cruelty is unforgivable. You know why? Because it's bottomless. Where is the bottom of that behavior? If you can cheat on me on purpose and hurt me, you could probably hit me. You could say vicious things. Could you kill me? Could you kill my dog? Could you do something terrible like that? Where does that pathology end? And a lot of women don't know, and they just keep going down this like dead end path over the cliff into an abyss, and they lose themselves in a toxic relationship. But today, we're not going to talk about people cheating on us necessarily. We're going to talk about cheating on them. But I bring all this up because, look, if you're cheating to hurt your partner, just leave, girl. Literally, just leave. Just leave. Because ostensibly, you want to cheat and, like, not get caught. But if you want to cheat and get caught on purpose, you're going to play yourself because then you're the bad guy. So let's say your boyfriend is a shitbird and you really have legitimate reasons for getting revenge on him and like sticking it to him. If you go out and take up the mantle of the villain, you blow your position. You blow the only leverage you have. And victim mentality, you know, we talk about that usually on this channel. We're talking about good things and positivity, about how toxic victim mentality is and how much it sucks and how annoying it is for everyone around you. But it's really useful when your boyfriend sucks. You know, you have to hang on to that victim narrative. That's your power and that's your leverage. Okay?
Yeah. And the victim narrative, that's the power and leverage in modern Western woman's life. She's telling you everything. The victim, yeah.
But let's say you fall into the first category of cheaters I was talking about. People who just kind of like boys. That was always sort of my thing. Like, I love boys and I'm boy crazy and I have been since I was like 6. And like, I really think somebody should have nominated me for some sort of award for staying a virgin until I was almost 22. I mean, given my libido and how much I love boys, like that shit is like in dog years. Okay. I deserved recognition from the Council of Thoughts. Like, you held out the longest from the ratio of your horniness. I did. But where was I going with this? What am I talking about?
She got to thinking about dick and lost her whole train of thought. Which, like I said, it's nothing wrong as long as she owns it and accepts it. It's nothing wrong with it. But like I said, going back to the victim mentality, blah blah blah. See, that's where I'm like, get the fuck out of here. You know, that's where I lose respect. That whole I gotta hold that power role of playing a victim and all that. Hey, no, you see that she got to thinking about boys and dicks and lost her whole train of thought. It's what she is. She forgot everything. Look at her.
So like I said, if you are just like, oh, you can't kind of resist, you're sort of like a kid in a candy store, maybe you're studying abroad, maybe you guys are like in a long distance relationship, maybe you love him, but he works a lot and you're just like, I don't know, I just really like making out with boys. Okay. First of all, keep your goddamn mouth shut. Keep your mouth shut. 2 can keep a secret if one of them is dead, as the old saying goes. And no, you probably can't, or I'm sure you can, you shouldn't kill your mistress. But you also need to zip the lip with your friends, right? Because, like, you think you know your friends and you think they're loyal to you, but people have very different morality in terms of cheating. First of all, I wouldn't dine my friends out to God herself. Like, I keep their secrets forever. And we got a lot of them. But, like...
Birds of a feather.
Some people are not like that. Like, some people who come from a family where dad cheated on mom, and if they see cheating, it's like... It's like a Vietnam flashback. Like, they cannot handle it. They will sell you out. So it's really, really important to keep your crimes on the down low. Loose lips sink ships. You also need to keep it quiet from your boyfriend. And I know that sounds obvious. But I get a lot of messages from you guys where it's like, my boyfriend dumped me, or we were on a break and I went to a club and made out with this guy and I feel so guilty because now we're back together. Should I tell him? I'm like, no. No. Transparency is baloney. Transparency is capitulation of control. I don't tell anybody everything. Certainly not a boy that I'm dating. Are you out of your mind? I didn't even tell my husband everything. I never told my husband how old I was. I mean, he figured it out, but like, that to me is information I don't like to share. I would rather like share my pap smear results. That's just, and that's me, and that's my line in the sand, you know? And like, you have the right to have your own information stay within you. When you go out with a guy, you don't have to tell him your whole history. You don't have to tell him that like you were married or what. No one is owed access to your stories.
See?
Okay? And
that's what... Women who do shit like... What did I say earlier? Women who do shit like this, these will never be truly, genuinely loving mothers and wives. It's just not going to happen. It's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's her position in life. It's her role in life. But you don't want to stay around women like this for too long. these deep secrets. She won't even tell her husband how old she was, and no, just no. But like I said, woman will sell. I mean, like, she's not a horrible looking woman. She'll sell just by, having a Tinder profile or Bumble and having 2 pictures up. And she'll get guys, offering her, to give her something for free just because she's a woman. It's not for any other reason. She's a woman who's skinny and took a bath. She'll get that. But like I say so many times before, and I was telling my girl this, women's problem is not finding men in general. Any woman can wake up that morning and say, I'm gonna go out to a bar and get fucked tonight, and it's gonna happen, right? It's not that difficult. All she has to do is just exist in a bar, exist outside, just exist, and somebody's gonna come up and offer a woman something, not because she's so fucking talented or she's so smart or she's so funny. It's because she's standing there as woman. That is no feat, women. This is no feat. This is no challenge. Just exist as fucking woman. Stop building your self-esteem off of it because you're trying to simulate being a man, because men have to do work, but you don't. When it comes to getting fucked, you don't have to do anything. All a woman has to do is just exist as a woman. Somebody will come offer you something. So my mind's just blown. Because my mind is blown because watching women explain these types of topics makes it clear, like, just how little they actually know about reality because they have it so easy in life and dating. So to continue what I was saying earlier, woman's issue is not getting fucked one night. It's no challenge for a woman to go out and cheat on a man. There's no challenge in that at all. She just exists. Just say hi and smile. That's all your woman has to do. But see, woman's issue comes in. No woman on this planet can wake up in the morning and say, I think I'm going to go. She can't even wake up and say this. I think I'm going to go find a decent man, have sex with him, and keep him around after it. No woman can do that. I don't care how pretty she is. Because they all have their own tiers of women and the women that are around them and doing their own thing. No woman. Now, every woman can sit down and go, when she wakes up, I'm going to get some dick tonight. And she can have dick by the afternoon or within the same morning. Have you guys seen those Tinder challenges? Tinder challenges that women were doing, young girls were doing, where they competed in how many men they could sleep with in 4 hours after like just creating a Tinder account, and they weren't even beautiful women. They were like, okay women, and it was within 4 hours, and they recorded the sex too, like video recorded. That's not the problem. The problem that every woman has is going, you know what? Tonight I'm going to find a man I could genuinely respect, have sex with him, and actually keep him around after it. That's where women have the problem. That's where the problem comes in.
Certainly not your boyfriend. Because look, you got to level with yourself. If you go out and you slip up and you hook up with someone, I had a guy do this, a boyfriend I loved like 10 years ago. Short. He looking for a stripper. But that's the thing. He's like, I slept with this girl down in Florida. And I was like, why are you telling me this? And he's like, what? I was like, when someone cheats, they're either never going to do it again, or they're going to do it kind of all the time. So which of these categories you fall into? Because if you're never going to do it again, I didn't need to know about it. I don't need to know what impels your personal growth within this relationship, especially if it's something that's going to hurt me, because now it's a thing. Now it's a thing in the room that we have to think about, and I'm going to like picture it and like blah, blah, blah. It becomes an unavoidable data point. But if you're going to do it all the time and you're going to leave me for her, I also didn't need to know. I didn't need to know. You could just leave and be on your way. And he's like, well, it's going to be that. I was like, great, thank you. You could have just dumped me. I didn't need to know that when I was texting you and saying all these things, you were sticking it into a stripper. Thanks. I shouldn't talk shit about strippers. You know I love strippers. Like, I love them. But it's just, It's cliche. He was in a band. I'm just like, come on. She had like a kid she didn't have custody of. It's like, methed out trash. She had like meth eyebrows. You know what I mean. You know them when you see them. So you got to zip the lip. If you confess once, it's going to make it way harder to keep on cheating. And girl, you probably will. You'll probably cheat. So the second thing you need to do is foresee the red flags that are going to pop up in terms of giving your behavior away. Now, like I said, when people cheat, there are shifts. They're on their phone a lot more. They're making like smiley faces. They're changing their passcode. Literally, if you're going to have a life of crime, you should get a second phone. Or establish with whoever it is you're cheating with that there's like hours. And it's hard. You don't necessarily want to let them know that you are in a relationship, like if you can help it, because they can use that against you. Like people will turn on you, they'll blackmail you. There's, this shit happens. Like you don't want your mistress blowing up your life. You can do that on your own. So just be like, hey, when I'm home at night, I turn my phone off. Make it up. You're lying to one dude, lie to the other. Who cares? Because you need to keep information above and below, right? You need to keep information on a need-to-know basis, not just flowing out loosey-goosey and you don't know who knows what and blah, blah, blah. So establish some parameters before you go out like into this. Also, start having some new activities and have two. Well, you're actually going to only maybe have one. The second one is going to be a variable activity with a loosey-goosey schedule. So this is what I mean, because scheduling is a big shift in terms of behavior. It's like she doesn't come home now and like I don't know where she goes after school and blah, blah, blah. So you want to sign up for like two things. Say one's like a pottery class. Okay, you're doing pottery like every day after work. Then you're going to be like, oh, I'm also doing like CrossFit and like it's hard to get in. So sometimes the only classes are like 8 to 9. It's so annoying. And actually do that so that there's plausible, there's a realism to your lies. You're coming home, you're sweaty or whatever. It's like your body's changing. You can like give normal accountable details because you're actually there. Sometimes, not all the time. But again, you want to pick something that the schedule kind of shifts, but not so wildly. It's like, oh, I went to CrossFit and I spent the night. No, like if that's what you need to do, if you want to have that big of a cheat where you're full on spending the night with another dude, you're going to have to escalate those lies accordingly. You're going to have to travel for work. You're going to have to like go sleep with your sister sometimes. You're going to have to like your mysterious best friend, Perry, is like having some sort of like crisis and you have to sleep at her house 2 nights a week. Work smarter, not harder, because then it's going to give you wiggle room if he gets suspicious. Be like, babe, I know, just this class opened up, so it's like, I'm sorry, I'm going to go. I don't know why it's that big of a deal. Like it happened last week. Also, get your boyfriend involved in things. If he's busy, he's not going to be paying as much attention to what it is you're doing, right? But, and this is truly evil. This is evil. Are you guys ready for it? You got to start gaslighting him. That is the tool of a cheater. Gaslighting. And so we know what gaslighting is. If you don't, it's based on this movie in the 40s called Gaslight. Right? My coffee table just started vibrating and that's a little worrisome. All right. Evil is here. And so this movie, and anyway, this guy like adjusts, this like shitty husband adjusts like the gas flames in the lamps to flicker, and the wife's like, these are flickering. He's like, no, they're not. Baby, maybe you're going crazy. Maybe we should commit you to institution and then I can get all of your inheritance. Gaslighting. And so we are used to seeing gaslighting as like a guy calling you crazy, but really it is anyone who tells you that you are not observing what you are very much observing, right? So it can come in a lot of forms. I don't know why you're making such a big deal out of this. It's it comes in a lot of forms. So try to employ it in as many different subtle and amorphous ways as you can, right? And one thing cheaters always do, they're accusatory, which is ironic because like you really want to like shine a light on someone's behavior, but this is exactly why they do it. It's a distraction and a deflection technique.
Okay, that's all I can listen to her talk. Because at this point, I can't tell this bitch is fucking 25 or 37 with just 15 pounds of makeup on. Because she looks older, but her mentality is so fucking immature that it's just, I can't guess. All right? She said she was married before, so she's at least 18. I'm guessing. But she looks like she's like at least 30, at least in her early 30s. I'm just confused at this point. Anyway, man, but I'm gonna go ahead and cut this shit off there because this is just so fucking. This is just so fucking stupid. I just can't even. I like how they say. I can't even. Let's look at her page. Let's look at the videos. Oh wait. So she's all in all these other bitches' lives. Kim Kardashian, whoever the fuck Olivia and Harry is. Kanye jealous. Is Kanye jealous of Kim's? Is Kanye jealous of Kim? Courtney and who the fuck Courtney and Travis is. See, man, bitches like this, man, listen. Bitches like this, men, stay the fuck away from bitches like this. Okay? Stay away from them because these bitches are nothing but trouble. They're nothing but trouble. And the sad part is she got hurt somewhere and is on a revenge path. She's on, it's a mixture. She's on a path of revenge, and she's on a path of escaping her own reality by reading what all these famous people are doing in the world. Mind you, go live your own life, sweetheart. Live your own life and practice being just a good woman. Okay, because let's be, like I say all the time, women. I don't feel sorry for women like this, not one single bit. I don't feel sorry for them because they know. See. Like she said, playing the victim is her power role, right? She said it her fucking self, right? These women know exactly where to find decent men. They know exactly the guys who would bring them medicine when they're sick, who wouldn't cheat on them, who are going to sit there, blah, blah, blah. She likes it, man. She likes it. She likes this. Which is nothing wrong with it. But if you're genuinely looking for a decent woman to come home to trust, for a decent one, trust as a woman can trust and be decent. If you're looking for that, stay away from this. Stay away from this and anything that's in the same vicinity. And this is the same scenario as women who are married with a loving family and shit. See, they don't hang out with strippers. They ain't running the bars and hanging out with their girlfriends and clubs and all that. They don't do that. Cause I can look at her. This is like this shit. This girl and that little black girl on the left in my last video, those two those two are of the same feather. They got hurt, and in their being hurt, they became the saying, hurt people. So now I'm gonna go out and do this. I'll still try to pretend to be the victim, but I know this is revenge for me getting hurt years ago. Stay away from them, man. Don't get anywhere. Just don't even acknowledge this woman exists unless she stand up in a brothel, and she's your type. That's about the only place. Unless she stand up in a brothel, unless she's working in a brothel, or she's sitting in a club. Any other circumstance, you just do not go anywhere near a woman like this. You just don't go anywhere near it. That could sound hurtful, and I'm sure somebody might post a link to this video and put it on her channel. But hey, I'm telling the truth. She knows, and deep down, she knows I'm telling the truth. She knows exactly where all the nice guys are who would take care of her, who worship her, blah blah blah, da da da. She don't want that. See, and that's the hard part for guys to understand. In Facebooks and Instagrams and all this shit, like, that's the hard part for men to understand. It's not that she has such a hard time finding a man who won't cheat on her. It's that she thinks she's too good for the guys who won't cheat on her. She wants that excitement of not knowing what's going to happen tomorrow. Is he cheat? She likes it. Well, that's why she's cheating on men. It's what she does. She is not a victim. Men, get this through your thick fucking skull. She is not a victim. Because if she had to find a guy who would genuinely do right, she knows the exact men in her life. The guy at the gas station or the guy, selling electronics. She knows the exact men who would cherish her. But she doesn't want that. She wants what she has. She likes it. And the thing is, women like this, they hate the fact. Some of them can even grow to where they genuinely think that they hate the fact that they like it. It's like it's damn near a Pavlov's dog thing. Their pussy is trained to be treated like shit. They've been conditioned to be treated like shit. And now their pussy can't even get wet for a nice guy. It's like Pavlov's dog with the bell. You know, when the dog heard the bell, then the mouth starts salivating. Instead of the mouth, it's her pussy. It salivates for danger, unknown, you know, unstable life. That's what gets her excited. Okay, so remember that shit, man. Remember it. I'm out of here, man. You guys have a good day. Bye.